Xiaomi 12 Lite review, a lightweight phone that isn't a lightweight elsewhere. The Xiaomi 12 Lite is a very solid mid-range phone. The lightweight construction is a comfortable change from the heavier alternatives found at this price point, plus the square-edged design is both modern and makes it easier to hold in the hand. Performance is again very good, as are the cameras if you want something for social media platforms. The software can be a bit clunky at times, and the overly sensitive display takes a little getting used to, but these are minor gripes compared to all the other benefits on offer. Xiaomi has been busy. Its 12S range of devices have recently been announced, and following on is the mid-range 12 Lite model that promises the classic Xiaomi experience at a modest price. But, in a fiercely competitive sector of the market, can the Chinese model compete? Here's the full Tech Advisor review of the Xiaomi 12 Lite. Design and build. Usually, the Lite suffix on a smartphone denotes a downgraded spec sheet, but with the Xiaomi 12 Lite this seems more accurately applied to the chassis. Weighing in at a very comfortable 173g, it's a nice device to hold for extended periods, plus the 159 by 74 by 7.3mm sits well in the hand, making a nice change from the bulky 200G frames that seem to have become the norm in the last year or so. The color scheme is also fresh, with a choice of pink, black, or the green on my review model. The plastic back panel is graduated, so as you tilt it in the light it changes color in a very pleasing manner. In the top left corner of the panel there's also a raised rectangular area that houses the triple camera array. The plastic is clear, with a light blue/green hue that again looks smart. As with the Redmi Note 11 Pro 5G that I reviewed recently, Redmi is a Xiaomi sub-brand. The edges are squared off rather than the curved type which featured on the Xiaomi 11 Lite 5G from last year. This adds to the grip and gives the 12 Lite a modern aesthetic. The front panel is made up almost entirely of the 6.55 inches AMOLED display, with only a central punch hole aperture for the camera interrupting the graphics. This is partly enabled by an under-display fingerprint sensor which saves space, plus it also means that the power button on the right flank is small as it doesn't need to house a sensor either. Add to this the volume controls, dual SIM slot and twin speakers, and the result is an attractive device that's genuinely nice to use. Screen and speakers. The 6.55 inches AMOLED Full HD Plus panel on the 12 Lite is well balanced and provides plenty of color and definition. You can choose between either 60 or 120 Hz refresh rates, with the former saving on battery life and the latter offering smooth scrolling. Not that the 60 Hz option isn't good, but once you've turned on the 120 Hz setting you'll probably want to leave it there as it feels great. All of this is enhanced by the display support for HDR10+, Dolby Vision, as well as something Xiaomi calls True Color, which bolsters the palette of the panel. The Xiaomi 12 Lite doesn't have the brightest screen on the market, with my measurements showing around 450 nits maximum, but that proved enough to handle bright sunlight for the most part when turned up to full. Indoors or on more overcast days you won't have any problems seeing what's on the display. Using the under-display fingerprint sensor was pleasingly easy, albeit with the initial setup taking a little longer than with a physical sensor in a button, as it was harder to know which part of my finger the sensor had tracked. This only added about 30 seconds to the process though, and after that I found that I could unlock the phone with a very high success rate of first-time attempts. Specs and performance. Perhaps surprisingly, Xiaomi has fitted the 12 Lite with the same Snapdragon 778G processor that appeared in the previous generation 11 Lite 5G. Whether this is down to the worldwide shortage of processors that has been going on for the last year or so is unknown, but to be fair the performance of the 12 Lite for most things people will usually do with their smartphones is on the money. Opening apps and moving through various screens and menus are all swift and responsive. There's no noticeable lag when using the device at all, and even in the cameras you get a quick launch with the cameras ready to go, essential if that decisive moment appears before your eyes. The Xiaomi 12 and Xiaomi 12 Pro both have the flagship Qualcomm 8 Gen 1 processor, so this is a key difference. No doubt the 8GB of RAM that comes in this variant helps with the performance, although you can order a 6GB version if you want to save some money. I wouldn't advise this. Xiaomi also offers a virtual memory extension feature that will supposedly deputize up to 3GB of onboard storage as RAM. The phone's bigger brothers come with up to 12GB of RAM, so bear that in mind if you think you'll need more power. Cameras. Mid-range devices often live or die by their cameras. In that case, the Xiaomi 12 Lite is in a very healthy state and should probably make it comfortably to old age. The triple camera combination of 108MP/1.88 main, 8MP/2.2 ultra-wide and 2MP/2.4 macro turn in some truly impressive results. Focusing is fast and usually tracks the intended subject matter, not always true with phones I've tested. In good light I got some excellent shots, whether it was close-ups of flowers, catching my dog in a heroic pose, waiting for a treat, landscape images or general everyday pictures. More impressively, the nighttime photos I managed to capture really did make me wonder if the phone was more expensive than I'd first thought. There is a night mode and it does a good job of picking out things like a dark blue boat in a harbor at night and making it visible. But, when I turned off the night mode and let the normal camera do its thing, I managed to get some atmospheric shots that I was proud of. Battery life and charging. Battery life on the Xiaomi 12 Lite is very decent. Using the phone heavily across a day, watching some YouTube videos, lots of web browsing, emailing, social media apps and even the occasional phone call, left me with around 30% in the tank at bedtime, which is often past midnight. Easing off on the screen time meant that I could easily get through 2 days on a single charge. Not that getting the device back to 100% is much of an inconvenience. Using the included 67W charger, the 12 Lite went from empty to full charge in 41 minutes, which is excellent. So, even if you decide to spend hours each day staring at the screen, you'll be able to replenish the entire battery in less time than it takes to have your lunch. There's no wireless charging support for this model, so you'll need to plug it in when you want to power it back up, but as I mentioned above you at least get the charger included in the box. Software and apps. If there's one weak spot on the 12 Lite, then it's probably the software. Don't get me wrong, MIUI 13 is a perfectly serviceable system that offers plenty of features, but it does take a little getting used to. And I'm not the first person at Tech Advisor Towers to find this to be the case. For instance, wallpapers and themes all come via a theme store. There's plenty of free stuff, and you get ones bundled in with the phone, but it's a slightly different approach to some of the other versions of Android that you may have already used. Bloatware isn't too bad, with the phone having a few games and social media apps pre-installed out of the box. Xiaomi also includes its own bespoke apps for notes, web browsing and other things, but this is kept to a minimum and most can be uninstalled. Price and availability. At the time of writing, Xiaomi has only confirmed the price of the 12 Lite in US dollars, even though it won't officially go on sale in America. We'll update this with more pricing when it becomes available, but here's how the models break down. 6GB per 128GB, $399. 8GB per 128GB, $449. 8GB per 256GB, $499. There's a good chance that these prices may have the same numbers attached when they are launched on July 9 in the UK, Europe, and bigger ones, due to currency conversion rates, in India and other territories. As a reference point, the Xiaomi 11 Lite 5G was priced at £399/€399 for the 8GB per 128GB variant, so the pricing on the 12 Lite could be around the same. This brings the device into competition with the likes of the OnePlus Nord 2T, Realme GT2 and Xiaomi stablemate the Poco X4 Pro 5G. All of these are great phones for less than $/$/€500, and the Xiaomi 12 Lite certainly doesn't embarrass itself in this company.